I live in the summer in the desert. This is just a rough start. It's been a long day, but they're live, so we keep going. I live in the desert, and it gets to about 120. I like to take advantage of the heat, especially as an older guy. Heat does a couple things. One, instant warm-ups. Your joints feel great. You get a great sweat. You burn more calories. You deplete a lot more muscle glycogen, or the sugar stored in your muscles. So it's a way to really accelerate fat loss, but you have to prepare for it because you can get heat exhaustion. It can really wipe you out. And I'm a big advocate of the sauna, period, but especially because the first summer in the desert, I moved here a couple years ago, I overdid it and I didn't prepare for it. And I had heat exhaustion by the end of the summer, and it was rough, man. It can really just wipe you out. So the last couple years, I use the sauna to kind of build up heat tolerance. And it really helps beyond the fact that it's just great to detoxify, to sweat. It's so good for the skin, especially when you can contrast it with some cold. I'm going to show my cheap ass sauna setup here in a second. But, again, I like to just kind of share what I do, what works for me. Take what you want, leave the rest. Here's my sauna setup. I just started it. This was, I got it from New Recover, NU Recover. And this is the steamer. I plug it in. I put it into a towel. That's where all the steam is going to be coming through. And then basically look at this phone booth. Bear with me. This is kind of a rough private. This was my office. It is my office still, but I have my inversion table. And just comes right in. Then you close it up. And it's about 6 feet. I got a little window just so I can see what's going on. It's about 6 feet. And put some towels down because it gets hot and wet in here. But I do a lot of seated stretches. So I'll do shin boxing. I'll do the butterfly stretch. I'll do cross-legged stretches. I'll even elevate my feet, lay down here, head here, and elevate my feet there to kind of get some leg drainage. It feels amazing, especially with the added heat. I'll bring in it wasn't here. There it is. I'll bring in my half foam roller, and I'll do some of that uneven sitting that I showed in a recent live. Check that out for if you have lower back pain or Quadratus, Lumborum, QL trouble. And it's just a great protocol. I have cold water here ready. And my plan today, and again, I do various ways of getting ready for this. During the winter when it's really cold, I'll start the day in the sauna, just stretch, listen to a podcast or music, and just plan out my day. And right now, as I prep for summer, just turned spring, I'm actually doing the sauna right after I do take an afternoon nap, do a little work, and then right before I do my training, I'll hit the sauna up, and I try to stay in as long as I can, upwards of maybe 40 minutes. I'm trying to build up to an hour. And it gets really hot. I was blown away by this. Again, it was only about $300. I got it on sale from New Recover. It's not a high-end sauna, but it's a nice personal private sauna. I just got sick of going to, the worst of humanity can be found in public saunas. And I like the privacy of it. And but I will even, it is 6 feet tall. I'm 6'2", but I'll even shadow box in here. And again, it just increased calorie burn, increased mobility. And in this case, what I'm trying to do is pre-fatigue myself with the heat, just stretching, getting loose, maybe a little bit of shadow boxing. Then I'm going to go outside, do some pool, do some heavy bag work, which is it's part of how I prep to handle those intense summer temperatures. Now, even if you're not living in the desert, it does get hot in the summer. And I do recommend you take advantage of the heat, especially as you get older, because I've made some of my biggest mobility gains and in the summer, especially here. It also just a great time to get super lean. And, whether you're not supposed to maintain like your lowest body fat year round. You're supposed to go through seasonal changes in your body fat, but you shouldn't swing too much, right? Especially as you get older, because what happens, as I'm noticing now, as I'm trying to lean out for the summer, at 41, I'm just flabbier. Skin's just not as tight as it was, 10 plus years ago. So what that means is you don't want to be swinging as much. Like you keep it within 5 pounds ideally, but no more than 10, because that stretching of the skin is accelerated by any excessive body fat, especially around like the areas, your low abs, your love handle areas. They start to sag. And again, that's part of what I think about managing the aging process as well. I know people worry about that, they care about that. I'm just sharing that those are some real things that happen with the aging process. And you can see right now it's starting to steam up. I'm going to close the door here. See it? It steams up. I mean, this is it's pretty cool. For $300, man, some of these saunas are like $5,000 to $10,000. And this was like, took like 5 minutes to set this up. It's just simple poles. You wrap the tent around. I'm going to come in here now and get into it. Close the door here. Hopefully you can still see me. Maybe I'll keep the light on. But again, I just wanted to share, prep for the summer heat. You don't want to get heat exhaustion. And big part of this too is it's training my body. It's training my body. How about this? I look like one of those survivalists. What are they called? It's training your body to cool yourself. That's really what this is. Getting used to these high temperatures. And now, again, because I'm in this small booth, I could shadow box, I could do some squats right in place, but I can't do this high of intensity stuff because of the small space and limitations of it. But it's getting me ready to cool my body, heat tolerance, and then when I start pushing myself out there in the summer, I built up some of that ability to cool myself and regulate. Now, I'll share a bunch of like heat training tips in the summer, palm cooling, hydration, all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. But this is also just for me to get used to the fatigue and such good breathing. It really heats up the lungs, opens up the airways, and then I have to condition myself to heat pre-fatigue and then go try to train outside. So I just wanted to share, guys. Hope you're doing great. I'm going to be doing a podcast soon, I think tomorrow, where I'm going to share some summer shred or shred season tips, especially for the aging athlete. Tips that I've learned along the way that I think might help you. All right, guys. Love you. Peace.